Welcome back to my series, Inner Sanctum, a journey of enlightenment into your own spirituality. In podcast 1, in the beginning, I talked about the truth of our existence and how it came to be. These sparks of light, of energy on this earth and this universe with purpose. I talked about what our purpose as a human being is and how we are here to experience everything around us and, more importantly, experiencing and understanding unconditional love. I also talked about what spirit really is. This great mass of energy and information, and how we travel from this to experience, and then how we travel back home. I hope that podcast 1 helped and gave you some enlightenment to this truth. Knowing where we come from and where we return to is a great start in understanding our existence. But how do we really actually start on our spiritual journey? Now that we have this understanding, how do we welcome spirit into our lives to encourage us to love and to live a much more simplistic life with more balance and connection? Today, I would like to share with you my understanding of how, as a human, we invite spirit into our lives, and how doing this can totally change not just our way of life, but every relationship you will ever have from this day forward. And how your health will be so much stronger, and your connections with your animals so much deeper. So if you're ready, let's begin. Podcast 2, The Invitation. Life has so many demands on us, doesn't it? Sometimes we feel so pulled down with life's demands and what's expected of us that we just don't seem to have time for anything more meaningful. We consume ourselves with family and work and routines, and in a way, unknowingly, along with the conditioning of society, we find ourselves in the one place so many of us have tried so hard to climb out of: the box. The box is your prison, your confinement, a structure you have created knowingly and unknowingly to convince yourself you need for your own existence. Are you aware that you have done this? At times we all have done this, and I know I spent many years feeling safe and secure in my own personal box. I knew I had conditioning from my parents and family, but I chose not to deal with it. I went to work for money, not really for passion or self-achievement in my life. I was internalizing what really mattered to me and creating an exterior to cope. I had friends, but nothing really seemed meaningful and fulfilling in my life. I had relationships with men, and somehow it always seemed to be relationships where they took control, where they just took from me. They didn't even really seem that interested in me as a person. In fact, I seemed to surround myself with men that somehow saw in me what they felt they lacked themselves. And they became jealous very quickly, much of the time leading to abusive situations both emotionally and physically. I just wanted to be loved. I just wanted somebody kind to put their arms around me and tell me they loved me and accepted me for being me, the positives and the negatives. I thought that was what this life was all about. Finding that one, being cherished and adored, and spending a lifetime of experiences together. Unknowingly for me, I had put myself into a box. In relationships, I was looking for in some way what had lacked, what wasn't there in my parents and family towards me. Simply love and affection without harshness and cruelty. Because in some way then I would feel safe and secure and snuggle into that box I had unknowingly started to create for my life. As I got older, I reaffirmed this more and more and continued to internalize what I really needed, for what I wanted, what I thought would make me complete. Yes, I created a very large box. But this box, although it felt like it kept me safe, this box was toxic, and this box lied to me. This box was not my friend. This box did not care for me. This box hurt me and crushed me and broke me inside. What started out as a box that I thought I contained so much love within was actually so fragile that what was inside shattered. This box was smashed and then ultimately just left to one side. This box became isolated and of no interest to anyone, and this box became dirty, dusty and marked, tainted, and with all its corners crushed in and such damaged sides. It's easy in these situations when we create our perceived perfect way of life to get angry when it all goes wrong. And we blame others for how we feel. We expect others to make us feel better. We live a life selfish, so self-consumed about what we want to get out of each day, and with very little intention of putting anything back. Because we have built this box, you see, that contains us. But it's built on all the wrong things. So what about your box? Right now, how does it feel living inside your box? Is it safe? Do you feel secure? Do you have all you ever wanted in your life? Are you selfless and full of unconditional love? Or do you have expectations and demands on your life? A life with disappointments, disillusions, hurt and pain that you struggle with, that you allow to consume you. Maybe it's time you opened your box and dared to step outside. Is it really that scary to reevaluate your life right now and take a hard look in the mirror and say what you have always wanted to feel? To say it out loud, I want to be free. I want to be free. Freedom. The amazing and beautiful experience of freedom. I can tell you that there are many, many spiritual humans that experience freedom. And I can tell you that even our animals in captivity, spiritually, they are still experiencing freedom. Because simply, they are just not consumed with what we as humans consume ourselves with. They are unconditional love. Pure, unconditional love. And along with many wise humans and our spirit guides, these animals are some of our most powerful teachers. But do we listen? Do you listen to them? To what they show you? Truly? When the word spirituality is used, referred to, what do you really think about? Because I can tell you now, it is not a religion. There are no constraints, no rules, no book, no judgments. There are no wars. There is no cruelty. There is just love. And that box, you only created that box to contain and keep safe love. But now you know that box never gave you freedom. Are you ready to be free? Are you ready to change the areas of your life that are not healthy? To look at people around you with a stronger, more knowing eye? To feel deep in your gut truth and to make the decisions in your life without ego and judgment? Are you ready to stop self-criticizing yourself and to start truly loving yourself? If you can't start with loving yourself, how will you ever truly love someone else? So maybe today is the first day you can truly say, I want something more than this in my life. I want to truly feel satisfied, balanced, healthy in body and mind. I want to be kinder. I want to be more understanding, with less judgments and without feeling dissatisfied and jealous of what others have. I want to love a life and live a life without ego and materialism. Maybe today you would like to start living the life Spirit gave you. Maybe today it's time for you to step outside of your box. To step out for the first time without any constraints and invite Spirit into your life. To invite Spirit into your life. Think about it. To invite in who you really are so that you can see the world with new eyes and let go truly of sadness, hurt and loss. To let go of pain. Pain in your body, in your mind and in your heart. All of which you feel is so real right now, is nothing more than a movie playing out. A movie you have created. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can losing someone or something not be true? After all, I'm sitting here feeling that. I'm sitting here feeling that pain. How can the pain that you feel from issues with your body not really be true? After all, you feel them. You feel the aches, the pains and the worries that surround them. But you see, although you feel those, your life is still just like a movie. And you are not only the actor, but you are the producer and the director. And you ultimately create the outcome to all the situations you are experiencing. And then you climb back inside your box, close down the top. In your human experience, you feel loss. In your human experience, you feel pain. But it's about the positive approach to all of this. And this has to start with getting the hell out of your box. Opening your life as an entity, as a human, but so much more than that, to the greatest, most amazing, huge, enlightening experience you could ever have. Spirit. Spirituality will change your life, will ease your pain and your sadness. Spirituality will offer you a brand new experience. An experience as a human that will not be controlled by the mind, but by your beautiful soul. The soul that I talked about in the last podcast. The soul that resides deep in your solar plexus, in your gut. The place of all knowing and all truths. To me, this is so simple. And looking back on all the years I held on to pain and sadness and resentment and wrongdoings towards me, I kind of feel sad for that person I used to be. But I also celebrate who he became and how he found that inner belief and strength to climb right out of that box and find out who he truly was. Light and energy, connected at all times to home, to the greater energy, to spirit. And when I invited spirit into my life, my whole world and perceptions started to change. Are you ready to experience the same? And where does it need to start? Simply with you saying out loud, Spirit, I invite you into my life. Simple words that can make such a huge change to who you are and where you are going on your journey. Simple words. Spirit, I invite you into my life. Are you ready to start living the life you deserve? A life of truth, surrounded with more light, without negativity, without constraints, pain and sadness. Then say with me now, Spirit, I invite you into my life. It doesn't matter if you're driving, listening to this, sitting at home, walking your dog. It doesn't matter where you are when you invite Spirit into your life. It's all about your intention. nothing more. I don't know you. I don't know who you are. I may have met you. You may have perceived ideas of who I am because you're listening to me, because you're following me. But you don't really know me any more than I know you. Because the only person you need to really know, the only entity you really need to know, the only soul you really need to know is you. Over the next week, between this podcast and the next, perhaps spend some time in quiet, in stillness, and start getting to know you. And take time to think about the box you have oh so carefully constructed to keep you safe and secure. And take time to imagine not living in that box. Imagine freedom and how freedom could truly feel for you. Imagine letting go of sadness and outcomes. Take time to imagine a life more meaningful and deeper, where you have all you need inside of yourself to self-heal. And today you have started that amazing enlightenment and your journey by not only listening to this podcast and hearing my words, but by inviting Spirit into your life. Remember, all you have to say, Spirit, I invite you into my life. This is the invitation Spirit has been waiting to hear from you for so long. Try it and feel the difference. It may be subtle at first, it may be intense. You may see small signs around you today, tomorrow, next week. But I promise you this, if you put the work into letting go of what contains you in your box, then your life will really start to change. You will change. You will become lighter, less dragged down, less judgmental towards others. You will become more self-focused. You will have more empathy and human kindness, and you will see the people around you with new eyes, and the animals around you with new eyes. I'm not going to tell you things won't change around you, because they will. But that's good, right? Trusting in Spirit, your truth, and being open to what may come. Embracing a new world and knowing and believing that whatever hurdles you are faced with, you will without question overcome. The invitation has been sent. It has been sitting on your doorstep all of your life. So perhaps today you should pick it up, open it, and start living the life you have always dreamed about. And I look forward to continuing our journey next week. So until then, Namaste.